Hi everyone. It's I don't know what all this is in the background. I just don't know. Look at it. I'll just have to. I'll have to. Oh yeah, Jason's fixing it. Don't know what's happened there. So hopefully I'll fix it. Hopefully it should be okay. Yeah, that's better. That's better. I think it is. Unless I need to bring down or brighten up. I don't know. I don't know how this bloody works. To be honest, let's see. Hello everyone. Sorry about that. It's just all this technical stuff. I haven't a clue. Good job, Jason's there. He just produces it, And the man doesn't like football, which he's not interested in it. But he does the shows, as you know. He does the history show. He does these podcasts, and he actually produces my Wednesday morning class, which is English literature. And anyway, I've got this great fella on. I love this man. And everyone loves him. George Scott, right away. Because George is one of these lads who says it as it is, he'd call out a player, because don't forget that George is an ex-footballer at Liverpool Football Club. Shankly signed him. That's how good he was. Because Shankly watched him, got the information of Jeff Twentyman, I think, and brought him down, signed him. He was a kid. And anyway, so he knows his football, and he just call out. He just call out players. He calls out substitutions and, things like that. That's what he calls out. And I'm going to bring him on anyway. And there he is, the great George Scott, my little mate.
Hey.
Hi, George.
How you doing, mate? All right?
I'm good. Great to see you. Great to see you. And I'm going to bring in JK Kismet, because JK is a lovely lad, and he's all the way over there in India, I think he is anyway. So we can hear him. He doesn't come on visually, unfortunately. How are you, JK? JK, can you hear me? He's gone off. Unfortunately. But anyway, George, what we've got is a big week, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've got a big week coming off, and we'll be talking about that. We'll be picking our team and whatever. And one thing I've got to say, before we all start, is this. Get your comments in, people. Just get your comments in. Please, just like Stephen Snape here, and there's loads of people watching. And he says, "Evening Copites, hello, one and all." That's Stephen Snape. So
evening, Stephen.
You see, George, albeit that it's, a sort of, we just had this international break. We're still going on, to be honest. And we've got the likes of Allison and the other fella, Nunes. They'll be home by Thursday. Do you think they'll be fit to play?
Well, yeah, I think they will be fit to play, but you don't know what effect the travelling has on them, really. You just don't know. It's a long way to come to South America, back to UK, but again, back, they've got a couple of days before the game. So I would imagine they'll be fit to play, Frank. Yeah, I would say they'll be fit to play. Yeah.
Yeah.
How can you not be fit to play in a game like that? It's a huge game for us.
It is a massive game, because if we see the way I look at it, George, is that they're not as powerful this season as they were, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
They're not as powerful as they were. And this is an opportunity for Liverpool to get at them. And this is why we've got to pick our strongest side. We've got to pick the likes of Alisson. You know, he's the number one goalkeeper in the world for me. He has to play,
definitely,
whether he gets home on Thursday or not. So we'll pick the team a little bit later on, if you don't mind. I just want to go through some of these. And poor JK, Brian McMahon, evening Frank and George and everyone. Thank you, Brian. Stay with us because it's going to be good. And as JK says, some tech issues, Frank, will be on as soon as it's sorted. Okay, JK. And evening JK says, Stephen Snake. Brian actually says, do you think the Everton fine was too much? This is what we'll be talking about, by the way. The Everton fine was too much. It was only 20 million after all. Okay. Redbird says, good morning, good evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. And this is a controversial fella. Good to see my two good friends. Hope all is well. I've to pick up a package tomorrow. Excuse me. I've a package to pick up tomorrow, Frank, for the second time. Only this time they told me the author leaves a few quid in the second time around. Oh, well, that's all right. As long as that's your book, actually. Hi, everyone. Hope you're all well. Says Lee Wizkid. So there we have it now. And if you're tuning in, please press the like. And if you haven't subscribed, just subscribe. Got to get the algorithm out there. You know, please subscribe. Please like. You know, even if you don't like me, and you all love George, just press the like because you love George. So we got this all out the way. You know, this week. You've got to look at the likes of, how can we say, the way Manchester City are and the way Everton have been, you know, deducted 10 points. They've been fined 30 million. What do you think? And Chelsea are under immense investigation as well. So over 100 things, you know, charges against them. Manchester City, that is. What do you think will happen, George?
Well, I think Everton, I mean, to be honest, looking at it in the round, they've been fined, they've been docked all those points, 10 points, for one transgression, really. I know they broke the rules, understand that, whatever way it's been caused, but so they have to be, I suppose, punished. What really gets under my skin is the fact that Manchester City has had all these 115 charges for 4 years, and they keep kicking it into the long grass by these high-powered lawyers employed by a state that's running the club, you know. They've not admitted any culpability. Everton did, and for that, and also there were mitigating circumstances, I think, for Everton, because they lost Sigurdsson, I think, you know, would have been worth a few bob for him when he was in that court case. Richarlison probably was undersold to Spurs for 60 million when they could have got 80. They're building a new stadium. They came clean with the Premier League. They were up front with them. They negotiated with them. And I think to hit them with 10 points, I think is a bit stiff. I think maybe on appeal, they might get some of those points knocked off. Having said that, they'll probably still stay in the Premier League. They're better than the 3 teams below them, I think. So they'll probably stay in. If they'd have been docked the points last season, they would have been down. That would have been a different kettle of fish.
Even the season before, they would have been down.
But it's terrible. We look at Chelsea with Abramovich. There were countless transgressions. There were all sorts of offshore things happening. There were all sorts of fiddling. When the manager, the owner of Chelsea took over, he opened the books up and there was all sorts of things in there as well. They've been signing players on 8-year contracts so that they have to pay over the money over 8 years, which is crazy. And a player could go off, he could be ill, he could be injured, and they're still paying for this over 8 years just to get them on board. They spent 150 million on Lavia and Casido. I mean, and it's just crazy when you look at what Everton's done. Everton's trying to survive through a pandemic, through the sanctions by the Russian owner and all sorts. So I think it's a shame. I don't carry no torch for Everton particularly, but they're a Merseyside club. I don't want to see them relegated. That's just my personal opinion. And I've said before, we get 6 points off them every year. So for that alone, I want to keep them in the Premier League.
Well, that was a snidey remark. But what you've got to look at...
Yeah, but no, I think it'd be hard done by Frank.
But honestly, George, teams, clubs, not just saying teams, clubs have to be punished for the indiscrepancies, indiscrepancies for what they do. I'll just go, is Jay Kismet there? Are you there, Jay? Jay? I think he's still having issues, unfortunately.
Can't hear you. It's
a shame. It's a bloody shame because he's a good man, this JK, and a good red.
You might get on later.
Yeah. Whatever happens, whatever happens. Stephen Snape says, Man City, hang on. Let's see. Man City have had their fear factor eroded a little bit. It's proven that they can be got at by teams who aren't nearly as good as us. I'm quite confident we could get a positive result despite the kick-off time. And go on.
They've lost 2 games this year. We've only lost 1. And it's only the 3 draws. It's only the 3 draws. One against Luton, of course, which was bad, which has kept us from being above them. So we're right up there with them. So we're nothing to fear in a way.
Yeah. But Lee Wiskid says it. We've got everything to play for and certainly have the ability this year, a good time for confidence. And we've got the confidence. We have the confidence because I'd like you people out there, who's commenting, who would you play? Who would your team play? Now, one of the sticking points is midfield. There's a couple of things there. Now, I'm not asking you, George. I'm asking these first. See what they say, the lads and the girls, if there's any girls listening there. Who would you play in just midfield? Who would you play? Because there's lots to conjure with. There really is. So anyway, as Brian McMahon says, the City game will be a massive statement if we win. I think we will give it a really good go. The players will be up for it, and Klopp will galvanise the team. Love that terminology, galvanise. I really do. Redbird. A lawyer said if the first couple of City charges can't be proven, the rest will get thrown out of the court. That tells me they will get away with all of them. Wow. That's some statement that by Redbird.
There'll be ructions. There'll be ructions if that happens.
Oh, there'll be murder. There'll be absolute murder. The problem is, lads, says Brian Edley, if they relegate City or Chelsea, this in return will open the door for the Super League yet again. Barcelona, Juve, and one other I heard are watching it closely. And I believe that. That's a very good point. But we'll get back to that as well. Redbird says Everton will get 10 points down to about 4 to 6 after their appeal. Says, mind you, some appeals go against them. You might just say, well, okay, or dock 12. You just never know what it is. And the latest, says Brian McMahon, Man City and the PGMOL officials in Dubai threaten to go on strike as their backhanders are crap. It's just nuts. It's all bloody ways. Sanctions imposed on Everton are draconian. However, if that's the severity that those who transgress are dealt with, then Man City and Chelsea should be playing in the Vauxhall Conference. There again, I think it's just plain and simple. Let's punish Liverpool again. Doesn't matter if it's red or blue, says Brian Edley. And Soulboy France says, have City and Chelsea never heard about honesty being the best policy? Same as the Tories, lies. I knew someone was going to do that again. I knew someone will bring that in. It's injuries that can be our downfall, says Redbird. We'll be getting back to that as well. This is good, because Stephen Snape says, Szoboszlai, McAllister, and if fit, Gravenberch. If not, I'd play Curtis Jones. And Shane McGowan, 2 points for us there, George. Sorry, George, 2 points for us. And J.K. Kismet, I wonder if he can come on now. Can you hear us, J.K.? J.K. Must be having issues again. I'm awfully sorry, J.K. I'm awfully sorry. So anyway, Darryl Merry says, I'm waiting to come on. I don't know, Darryl, if a link hasn't gone out. Yeah, there's Brian. I'm sorry there, Darryl. Get back to you on that. Midfield for City game, Szoboszlai, McAllister and Gravenberch. That's what Brian says. And as our little friend, Dana Juice, she's a blue. City should be playing 5-a-side at HMP Hindley as well as Chelsea. she's a blue, but she's not one of these. You know, she's a balanced blue, if you know what I mean. She's a balance. So listen, George. You know, there's midfielders, Szoboszlai, McAllister, and if fit, Gravenberch. That's what Stephen Snape says. And Brian McMahon, Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Gravel. And what do you think? What do you think of that midfield?
Well, on paper, that's our strongest midfield, isn't it? But I'm tempted with Curtis, to be honest, because, I mean, I suppose we will have to start with McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Gravenberch, because they've got a good balance there of the three of them. But McAllister needs to shape up a little bit, I think. He's not had a very good recent spell by his standards, and he's come back from South America, so he might be a little bit leaden-footed, who knows? So if Curtis Jones is fit, I wouldn't be too unhappy to see him playing along with Szoboszlai and Gravenberch.
Do you know what I want? And I think he's been getting a lot of, flack lately. I'd play McAllister. And I'll play Curtis.
Yeah, I think they will, yeah. We'll play McAllister. We'll play McAllister.
See, Enzo, I don't know so much. I think I know it sounds daft, because he's 30 years of age, Enzo. But I think McAllister has more, and I really believe this, has more experience, especially playing in a World Cup final. Not just a World Cup final, but the whole of the tournament. And he became Young Player of the Year. And I think he has more experience for big games like Manchester City. And this is where Szoboszlai can show up. What do you think of Curtis Jones, Szoboszlai, and McAllister midfield? What do you think of that?
Well, I think really, in a way, we should go at them a bit. We should rather than sit all back and be a bit nervous and defensive. I think we should really have a go on Saturday when we play the weekend. And I think Gravenberch is ideal for that because he's very skillful going forward. Can create space, can create opportunities. As I say, McAllister's a World Cup final player. He's got a big game temperament. He should be able to come up for a big game like this. And Szoboszlai is fantastic. He scored 2 goals for Hungary the other day. One was a brilliant goal.
Yes.
So he's on top form. top form. Yeah, Curtis, you know, he hasn't played regularly for a few weeks with injury, but he's there sitting around in the midfield as well. You know, and you've got Gakpo as well around there, so you've got the bench as well to come on. But I would start probably, as you said before, Frank, with McAllister, Szoboszlai, and probably Gravenberch. You said Curtis, but you know, Curtis or Gravenberch. But I would say Gravenberch first.
Gravenberch, okay, no, because this is where the dilemma is, isn't it? Really, this is where the dilemma is. You know, do we play Curtis? Do we play Gravenberch? And it's a game with the forwards as well, and even the defence. But we've got to play our, you know, best players, and this is why I vote for. I'll be bringing on Darryl in a moment. We'll be looking to see if we can beat City, going all out to defeat them. And this is why we've got to have our best. And this is why about our defence as well. This has got to be solid. This has got to be solid. So I'll be going back to that. I'll be going to ask the lads. I made up that the lads are coming on and saying about. Let's see. Denny, as you say, hope you're good, Frank and Co. Everyone two up. Everyone two up the toffees. Have to go in case. Up the top.
She's a blue, isn't she?
Why not? Why not? Anyway, Brian Headley, time for McAllister to be set loose further upfield. What a game to do it. Denny was one of us first. I thought of when I heard about the toffees. Had a bit of a crack online with her a while back. Lovely girl, absolutely. And Mark Doyle. Now, Mark Doyle's all the way. He's a big Liverpool fan. He's a Scouser, but he lives up in Scotland. And this fella climbs mountains for fun, but he does it for mental health, you know. He does it for all mental health. Jumps out planes and fights sharks, and, you know, this is what he does. And he's a pirate as well, besides a mountaineer. But anyway, he says, evening, gents. Hope you're all well. Can't wait for the Etihad on Saturday. McAllister isn't cutting it, no argument. Enzo, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch for me. We need Enzo's engines and steel. Curtis needs game time from the bench for now. That's a good shout. That is a good shout.
Not a bad shout.
Yeah. Neil Broderick. City are for the taking on Saturday. I would start Gravenberch, especially their injury situation, get a grip of midfield early on, verge back to his best. We'll be talking about that. Redbird says, don't forget, not only have we got to beat cheating City, we also have the ref and VAR to beat. It ain't easy when everyone hates us. Whoa, that's it.
Yeah, and you see who the ref is. The ref, Kavanagh.
Well, Brian McMahon says the recent era of accusations against VAR will be put to the test during the City game. There will be an almighty uproar if any suspicious calls are made against us. And Soulboy France says, you have to have a go at City. There's only one way to beat them, even though it will be an open game. And Steve Evans comes on and says, evening, lads, off to bed, knackered. God, isn't it? No, he's been working. There's been films going on. He's been working all kinds of nights. And we've got Darryl Merry on. Darryl, where are you? There he is. Look, so listen, Darryl, I've been
How are you doing,
nice to see you, Darryl.
Nice to see you, George.
I've been asking the lads on the comments. I've been asking George, who would your midfield be against City?
Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and Curtis Jones. I think weekend.
Okay. All right.
Definitely.
Okay. Well,
But there's one thing I'm not happy with. Kavanagh's referee, and his brother's a season ticket holder at Man City.
Yeah.
Joke.
Is he the guy that gave that Georgie penalty? Yeah, he didn't give it.
Well, it sounds like
Yes,
one of the lads said, about VAR. This could be a big thing for VAR if any stupid decision go against us, which is nuts. Nothing who brings balance in the midfield and doesn't keep giving the ball away, unlike McAllister. What do you think of that, George?
Yeah, he's a tidy player, Endo. He's a tidy player. He doesn't waste too many passes, and he nips at the heels. You have to be very careful he doesn't get himself booked or sent off, though, because he's a bit aggressive. But yeah, I agree with that. He's a good player, Endo. He's not let us down when he's been playing. I just like to see us to play an attacking formation. I say go at City a bit, rather than sort of fall back, because I think we've got pacey players up front.
Okay, well, we get into the tactics. No, I think that's a good point, George.
The main thing is the back four, keeping it tight, Frank.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get into the back four and the forwards as well, and the tactics of what we think Klopp will use, because everybody's screaming out for a number 6, and Endo's a number 6. It's as simple as that. Your mic is terrible, Darryl. Your mic. It's making a terrible. Yeah, it's making a terrible noise.
I thought I sorted it.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Try and sort it. It's awful. Anyway, all that Headley says, haven't heard any new injury news, lads. So think it's all to go for Saturday. Good to see you, Darryl, says Brian Headley. Manx
right?
Unbelievable, says Neil Broderick. And as Steve Evans says, every time we play Oil FC, it's a ref from Greater Manchester involved. They want us to kick off so they can justify their bitter, twisted and disgusting chants they aim at us. Wrong-uns, he calls them, says Steve Evans. And Steve's being quite, shall I say, diplomatic when he says wrong-uns, to be honest. And Redbirds, is a good point as well, boys. Waterloo makes some great forward passes as well, which seems to go unnoticed. That's what he says. So Redbird, he's actually saying he wants to play Endo. I've always wanted them to play to put McAllister more forward, because that's his position, more forward play. But that's it. Basically that's it. What do you think, Darryl? About Endo playing? What Redbird says, because he does some good forward passing as well.
Don't get me wrong, Frank. I'm an admirer of Endo, but not in these massive games.
Oh,
we need someone. I know it's not perfect, or saying having him in there, but just Curtis James maybe, because he's got the legs. He's got the legs. Put him in there. I just wouldn't risk. And even though Man City got a little bit of a injury crisis as well, but I'd leave him out. I'd leave Endo out personally.
Okay, it's a good point about Curtis Jones, because Curtis Jones is Scouser, and he would love to play against Man City. He really would, and he'll throw 110% into that game. I like Curtis Jones, and I think we've missed him when he's been suspended. Not only suspended, but also when he's been injured a couple of times. You know, he's got that sort of injury that no one knows about. But anyway, I'd like to see Curtis because I think he'd be determined to have a go at City. We've got to have players who'll have a go. They will have a go.
Yeah.
That's in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Opiegan doesn't make any more noise regarding the kickoff. Just say nothing rest of the week and let Guardiola and his minions have it. Redbird says, if Curtis is fit, I'd play him, but we've not heard he's fit. I've heard that he's fit, to be honest, Redbird. I really am. And JK, Frank seems to be having problems with the StreamYard site. Connection is all fuzzy, but YouTube is okay. I'll get hold of Jay if you don't mind, JK, and try and sort it out. Okay, so just hang on in there, please. Brian McMahon, Nunes will have gotten a good brief from Suarez during the week and will be firing that ball in the City net or even a brace. Come on, the Reds. That's a very strong. That is a very strong comment. Okay? Let's go to the. We picked Ali. You know, in goal, George. So, and there's where it gets a little bit difficult. You're going to, and who did you pick? Who's your back four?
Back four, I think, is getting a bit. We're not exactly spoiled for choice, are we? I would say Alexander-Arnold, probably Konate, Van Dijk, and Tsimikas. I'd love to see Kwanzaa play, but maybe a big game like this might be a bit unfair on him to put him in that game. I'm sure he wouldn't let us down. But Van Dijk's back to his best, as we were saying before. And I think either Konate or Matip. See, it's a big pitch as well. The Etihad, and Matip comes with the ball and feeds it into the front man. So, I don't know, either Konate or Matip. I'd probably go with Matip.
Okay.
Alexander back and Van Dijk and Tsimikas.
Okay. I'm going to ask you, Daryl.
I'll go Trent right back. I'll go Van Dijk and Matip at centre back, and I'd play Gomez on the left.
Okay, that's a good shout. Now I'm going to ask the lads, who would your back four be? Because two conflicting ones there, if we're being honest. I'll tell you who I'd play alongside Virgil.
Kwanzaa.
Konate, because he's got pace. That lad's, and he's fit, by the way. He's fit. He's got pace. Matip hasn't got pace, I'm afraid. He hasn't got any pace whatsoever. So I'd play him just for the pace alone. I like that.
Because I didn't know he was fit or not. See?
What you say, Daryl?
I never knew Konate was fit, but yeah, I'd play Konate if he's fully fit. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. Hang on. Can I get JK on here? Let's see. Are you okay there, JK? JK. Ground control to Major Tom. Are you there?
Fine in. He's on a space station.
Houston, we have liftoff.
It's just nuts, isn't it? But anyway, all right. So you'd like Daryl? You would like Konate if he's fit, but he is fit.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, who did you just say would be your left back? Gomez. Okay.
Yeah.
But we'll get back to why you say Gomez, whereas George says Tsimikas. Okay. So we'll get back to that. Let's just say these things here. The case for Enzo was compelling, I agree. As Japanese captain, he shouldn't lack composure, but given we need to take the game to City, then perhaps a more offensive 11 is called for. Very good point. That's an excellent point from Mr. Smith. Very good point. I'm not going on to you there, Steve, because I haven't come to them, but I will get on to it. I really will. Brian Edley, do you think that Nunes will be better on the left and we'll go back to that. We'll get back to that as well. Steve Evans says Trent, Ibu, Veg, and Gomez, so he agrees with you there, Darryl.
Yeah.
And Snapey says Semikas, Virgil, Canete, Trent, back four. Okay. Brian McMahon, he says Trent, VVD, Matip, Gomez. Gomez was a new player at the left back role, says Brian. So there you have, there's conflicting choices here. There are conflicting choices. Now I'm going to ask you, George, and let's say Brian here, for example, Brian Edley, that is. Full-back areas worry me for the Saturday. Nearly go for 3 at the back and play 4 in midfield to control the midfield there. That's a good shout as well. I'll get back to you, George. Why would you prefer Semikas over Gomez, as Darryl pointed out, and a few others points out actually? At left back.
Well, about two or three weeks ago, Semikas made a mistake and he got crucified for that mistake. But then the following game at Anfield, the last game against Brentford, he laid on 2 goals.
Yeah, true.
I like Semikas going forward. He's a great crosser of the ball. We're going to have to score. We need to score a goal or 2. It's no good packing the defence against City, because they'll heap the whole possession and they'll break it down. We need to catch them on the break, and we've got, as I said, the players up front that can do that. And if Semikas is going down the line on the left outside their back 4, it's better than Gomez. To me, is more a defensive player, and he's right-footed. If you play him at left back, how is he going to go down the wing and get the crosses in? I don't think so. He's only going to be defending. But Semikas can do a bit of defending and he can attack.
Well, as we know, George, Foden, he'll be out there. He'll be on the right wing, but he likes to cut in. So there's where your right peg comes into the 4, if you know what I mean. And as you know, Gomez is a right footer. Normally he should be playing right back, but if he played him left back, he can cut out anything that Foden's going to do. Cutting in from the wing, because he does it constantly. So there's an opportunity for Gomez if he's picked over Semikas. But I agree with you about Semikas. Semikas, what doesn't get mentioned in any comments at all is what you just said, George, and that's his crosses. He's a fantastic crosser of a ball. He really is, and we need them crosses in the middle, especially from corners as well, or free kicks, if you know what I mean, because of our 2 big lads, whether if it's Ibu or Matip, and the big Veg there. And, so this is why you've got to pick a strong midfield and strong defence, especially the wide lads, the likes of Semikas or Gomez and Trent. So this is where we have to play going at them. We have to have the speed and everything else, but we'll get back to the forwards in a moment. So what do you think, Darryl, about Semikas being a fantastic crosser of a ball?
I agree. I definitely agree wholehearted there that he's a great crosser of the ball. And it just worries me with his defending. I know Gomez isn't perfect, but I think Gomez would have more solidarity in there, especially when you've got Jeremy Doku and Grealish and all them not running at you. I think Gomez will be more suited to it. I just feel that he'd be more safer bet.
See, I think City will play Doku. I don't think they'll play Grealish. I think they'll play Doku because they'll reckon that Doku can give Alexander-Arnold a run for his money.
Yeah.
Okay,
but as I would say about the crosses, we've got two boys in there, probably the two best crossers of the ball in the world in Szoboszlai and Trent. So I think we're sorted with crosses. So.
Well, Steve Evans,
I don't think Tsimikas will let us down. If you played either of them, neither of those two players will let us down. I think they'll all be up for it. Every one of the 11 will be up for it on Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, as you pointed out, George, before, he has a terrible game, doesn't he? It was against Luton. And then he has a cracker, obviously he's older, and he has a cracker with 2 assists against Brentford. And he was good. He was tackling. He was getting in there. Anyway, that's that. Brian Headley, I'm going to get back to what you mentioned about Doku. Remember, Gomez had a brilliant game at centre-back against City at Anfield last year, saved Brian Headley. Among their players, we need to quell Doku. Doubling up on him on the right side of midfield stifles their potency, says Stephen Snape. And Redbird says, some people forget to hit the thumbs up. And thumbs up, thank you. Don't be one of them. Make a grey-haired man happy. Give Frankie a boy. Frankie, thank you for your life. Thank you. My YouTube is saying you streamed this show 22 hours ago. YouTube be acting mad for a while now, says Redbird. This is mad, isn't it, really? And this is why, some people say, well, what do we want to watch that for? Yeah, we're live every Tuesday and Thursday. Brian McMahon, Tsimikas, with respect, is more a squad player, and it shows we still need to splash the cash. First team quality, I'll be going on to splash the cash in a moment, to be honest. And I think
can't do that till January.
I've been told about January, actually.
Yeah, so have I. Steve
Evans says Tsimikas can cross a moving ball well, but his dead ball taking is poor. That's what Steve says. See, we've all got conflicting opinions. Now I'm going to go straight to you, George. I'm going straight to you as usual. Your forwards. Who's your 3 forwards? Because that's all we ever play is 3 forwards. And we need, in my opinion, we need pace. So who's your 3 forwards?
I've thought from the beginning tonight, my 3 forwards, and everybody might not agree with this, but I think, for me anyway, kicking off the game, things could change depending on what happens, because we've got strength up front to bring on. I would go with Salah, Nunez and Diaz. And I'd have Jota ready to come on if things weren't quite going to try and snatch a goal. Diaz has got pace. He scored 2 goals for Colombia. He's got his father's back now. He's got that off his chest. He'll be up for it to show. And he's very quick. He's tricky. Nunez will give a lot of trouble back forward with his pace. And, of course, Salah, we don't have to talk about him. He's unbelievable. So that would be my 3, Frank, to start.
Well, Steve Evans is thinking along the same lines because he's got Salah, Nunez, Diaz. Who would you go for, Darryl?
I'll probably go for Sean Dundee, Balotelli, and Benteke.
Oh, well, that's pretty bad.
You could do worse. Not much.
No, it'd be the same as George. Exactly the same.
Okay.
Exactly the same.
Well, I think everybody, Steve Evans, he said Diaz, Darwin, Salah, says Redbird. and Brian McMahon. Now he says forwards Salah, Jota, Nunes. City will crease themselves whoever we put up front. I think he's right. That's a good point, actually. And we will, because we need pace. We need pace up front.
Yeah.
And there's no one better than Nunes going for. He just creates. And he does, you know, he's called Captain Chaos, as you know, George and Darryl.
Yeah,
He just
causes havoc.
He does cause havoc. It's spot on. He does.
With Salah and Nunes, they're the first two names on that sheet anyway for me.
Yes.
Because their link-up play is brilliant.
Yeah. Steve Evans says, I've changed my mind. St. John, Keegan and Crouch. What a forward line that would be. No Roger Hunt there, though, as I've owned.
Oh,
no, Crouch.
Forget Heskey.
Yeah, Emil Heskey, I don't know, yeah. Salah, Nunes, Diaz, says Snappy. Their defence.
And look what them three did in the international break. They all got goals. I mean, Salah got 4 in one game. Nunes got a couple. Szoboszlai got a couple. All our players have done well in the international break, so they're on form.
They're on form. This is what I mean. But you know, it's the fire. It's the fire we need. It's the fire we need. And I think that you've got the fire, if you know what I mean, George.
Tyler Morton's just scored.
Sorry?
Tyler Morton's just scored for England in the 21s.
Yeah. I believe so.
He's a good player, Tyler Morton.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Right, I'm going to try and get JK on here. I think he's gone to YouTube. Let's see.
Where's Lee? Where's Lee tonight, Ed?
Hey?
Where's Lee?
No, he's it's don't ask. Okay. Right, JK, can you hear us?
He's up Apollo 12. Apollo 12.
Oh, blimey.
Hello there.
Are you there, JK? Hello. Oh, can't get him.
Okay.
Can't get him.
Sounded like him there, didn't it?
Yeah.
He hears a voice. Hello. I wonder if he's in a cellar somewhere.
You can never see his face.
No, unfortunately. I think it's from India. It's from India. He's talking from India, which is great, you know. Brian Edley, Szoboszlai, Nunes, Salah, down the right side, playing the Tringle, City will be in trouble. That's what he's saying. And Steve Evans says he's in an entry. He's in an entry. He's in an entry. But you know, we've got this game coming up. It'll be a full house. I think it'll be the first time. I think the Etihad will be full. To be honest, playing the Reds with an early kickoff, and we've got an referee. And as we all know, will be. I really don't like talking about corruption or anything like that. I really don't. But this VAR and this referee, and especially with what Darryl said, you know, that one of his family members are a season ticket holder of City.
Yeah.
And it'll be very difficult. It really will. And I just do not trust VAR at all.
Isn't he the one that didn't give that penalty at Goodison Park when Rodri handled his arm? And if he'd give the penalty, which it was a cast iron penalty, we would have won the league. You know, because it was the last penalty that Charleston would have probably scored. And he didn't give it, and VAR didn't give it. I mean, that was blatant. And instead, then he played for Man City youth team, and his family are all City supporters, and he lives in Greater Manchester. It's terrible.
It is. It's. I'm not saying it's corruption, but you know,
It's
there's
not a
something
good look,
going
Frank,
on.
is it? It's not a good look.
No, you might as well have say Liverpool playing City at Anfield. Some fella who lives down the road from me,
It's
and
just, yeah.
it's a big red. It's just like that. It just wouldn't be allowed. This is the point. It would not be allowed.
Yeah. It just stokes the fires.
It does. I don't know. And Stephen says, if I can get a steady connection off next door's Wi-Fi, there's no excuse for technical issues. He's getting Wi-Fi off next door. This Stephen Smith.
I wouldn't be saying that.
He keeps putting pounds in their meters.
Yeah, must be
Getting a knock on the door.
Must be paper thin walls or something, or very strong Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Anyway. So is that your teams then? You know, you've got to look at the intensity factor. Now, don't forget, the lads have travelled thousands of miles, especially the South Americans, thousands of miles. Do you think that they can cope with the intensity, George?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. You know, I mean, Klopp will have a handle on that, I'm sure, in the training tomorrow and you know on Thursday and on Friday. You know, you've got a few days, haven't they?
Yeah.
They're flying back on a quick plane, you know. I'm sure they'll be okay.
Do you think that the intensity will be there for us? With all this like playing in the international games and coming from thousands of miles.
I don't think it'll affect Nunes as much as it affects McAllister's game. Because it really seems to take a toll on him. To be honest. But I think Alisson will be fine sleeping in goal. And he's not got the running like that. And to be fair, but I've been a bit more annoyed about Guardiola's mind games he's been playing already, was saying Haaland had a niggle, Rodri had a niggle, but they all seem to be back fine.
It's all games.
It's all games. My name.
They'll all be playing.
Yeah, they'll all play. Yeah, they'll all play.
Every one of them.
De Bruyne might be back as well. It wouldn't surprise me if De Bruyne surprisingly played.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be much.
Well, JK says, many apologies, Frank. Tried to get on a few times, but the StreamYard site keeps saying there seems to be a problem. I've talked to Jason about it, but no worries. I'll enjoy the show on YouTube. That's lovely, that. And he says, beam me up, Scotty. Beam me up, Scotty. Steve Evans, choice of ref shows the contempt FA and Prem have for us. The corruption from the authorities is off the scale. They are making an example of Everton over one charge yet. Oil FC and the Shabs, who blatantly take the Michael, are going to walk away. Scott. I think there'll be a lot of problems if they do for the FA. They really will. They'll for the Premiership if nothing gets done to the likes of Chelsea, to the likes of Manchester City.
They just hammer the credibility of the Premier League.
No, there won't be any credibility whatsoever, and that's my point. You know, they've got to be held accountable for what they've done, especially over 100 charges. That's ridiculous. Yeah. And Chelsea was bought by offshore deals. That's terrible. You know, how many politicians and whatever are screaming at other politicians for offshore tax havens and whatever. There's murder about it. Yes, a football club. And don't forget, they won a hell of a lot because they could afford to buy anybody, like Manchester City. Yeah. If you know what I mean. So what will they do? See, the way I look at it, and this is why I think the FA will be reluctant, and UEFA, to be honest, looking at City, because if they get fines or whatever, the fines nothing to them, and if they get relegated, say they get relegated to say the championship, or getting so many points deducted this season, say like 20 to 25 points. I think it still survives, to be honest, even if they took 25 points.
I don't think it'll happen this season, Frank, to be honest. I don't think it'll happen this season because the lawyers will keep on going. It may happen next season. But if they do get relegated and they're found guilty, then what happens to the championships they've won?
That's what I was going
to say. Then they shouldn't be allowed to keep those trophies.
Well, that was going to be in my comments. What will happen? What about the trophies that they've already won, including Chelsea, by the way?
Yeah.
Because they won a European Cup and whatever, didn't they? A couple.
Yeah.
They win a couple of European Cups. And the likes of Man City, they just won the European Cup. So what will happen there? Will it be taken away? Who will it be given to?
In athletics, if a gold medal winner is proved to be cheating, whoever was runner-up gets the gold medal.
Yeah, that's true. I remember
you can't win if you're cheating and you're guilty of cheating. You can't win. It seems sensible to me. Anyway, they won't let it happen. Money talks.
I remember Ben Johnson winning a gold medal, and Carl Lewis came second. He was a fantastic athlete.
Yeah.
And the medal was given to him. The gold medal was actually given to Carl Lewis, and the lads who came fourth got the bronze. If the lads who came third got the silver, and the lads who came fourth got the bronze. So, but this is football. I wouldn't want, if they went like that. Okay, Liverpool, you get two trophies. The two premierships. That would be tainted for me.
I agree, Frank. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't want it.
I wouldn't want. But they'll just be scrubbed off. Tally.
The record, yeah.
Just be scrubbed off. Yeah. What do you think, Darryl? Would you accept them if they said to Liverpool, as the two things that you missed out on a point? Would you accept them?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't accept that at all. To be honest, I think fair enough. If you're looking at a couple of charges, Frank, I would understand.
Yeah. But
you're looking at 113 charges when nothing's even been done about even now. And that's what 2-3 years down the road now.
Yeah.
It's because of the lawyers.
With these charges. Yeah. And I feel sorry for Everton, I really do.
They're not admitting it. So the lawyers are pleading, and it's kicked into the long grass.
Yeah. And now I just feel for Everton, even though they're our rivals. I really feel for them.
Well, it's the Evertonians themselves, they're looking at. They've been fined, I think, 30 million or something like that, something mad like that. So they've been fined.
Disgusting.
They've had points deducted. Now, a lot of people thought that it was going to be 12 points, but it's only been, I'm not saying only, but it's been 10 points. And yes, we're arguing over Chelsea and Man City, thinking that these could get away with it. And as you said, George, that mightn't come into the fore until next season. But what you've got now is the clubs, I think Burnley and Luton, I think they were, who were going to sue. I don't know whether they are or what, suing them.
Burnley and Leeds, yeah.
That's it, Burnley and Leeds. So you've got those clubs because they were cheated out of unfortunately. They were cheated
Yes.
out of staying up, and losing a hell of a lot of revenue by being in the Premiership. And this is where all the problems come. So just imagine Liverpool. Look, Liverpool could sue Manchester City for their, coming second in the league. Losing a point, which is absolutely ludicrous when you think about it. So the cheating got them the Premiership, whereas Liverpool was left out in the cold. Because I think it was, I don't know whether it was Shankly or Paisley said, winning is everything, finishing second is nothing.
First is first, second is nothing.
Yeah.
First is first, second is nothing.
Who said that? Was it Shankly, George?
Thank you, said that. First is first, second is nowhere.
Sorry, Frank.
Go on.
Sorry, Frank. Harvey Elliott's just scored.
Has he?
Yeah.
Good lad.
Thanks very much.
2 Liverpool players.
Yeah. Play for the Liverpool boys.
He never lets us down, Harvey, either, when it comes on.
Nah, Harvey's quality, I love him.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. We was mentioning about the midfield. Harvey Elliott was totally left out. He wasn't even mentioned.
Impact player, Frank.
He'd be ready to come
on.
on.
Yeah. No, he is an impact player. He is. We said last season, didn't we, that Nunes was an impact player. Nunes was an impact player. Now we want him to start.
Yeah, Jota's the impact player now, isn't he? So.
Jota, yeah. So we've got Gravenberch to come on. If McAllister, Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones plays. So we have players there, but it's the defence. It's the defence that is a little bit iffy. Now I'm going to go to you, Darryl.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go to you. I said a few weeks ago, and this is what I said. I said, when was it? I don't know whether it was last week or the week before last. The owners came out and said that they're losing revenue because of the stand, and they won't be going in until the March. And I said that could put paid to the January window. We mightn't be getting anyone. Now we pulled out of the Andre race because Andre is ideal for Liverpool Football Club. He's an ideal asset. Right? Not only that, but what's just come out now and said that there'll be no money for transfers in the January. What do you think of that, George?
I've never heard that. What is it? Klopp said that.
What's just come out and said that there'll be no money for transfers in January.
I don't believe anything comes out from our club about transfers. I mean, look at last year,
George, hypothetically, suppose that it's true. Just say that it's true. That there won't be any money for January.
You need to build to win. You need to build to win, Frank, don't you? And we've got a good team at the moment, but we need to consolidate in that last run in from January, because whatever happens against City, start of January, we are going to be up there. We're going to be there in contention. And there's 4 months of the season to go. So we need to invest. We need a number 6. You know that, don't you? I'm in the back 4 as well. Yeah. Ideally, we need that back 4.
We need a left side of the back. This is what I think we need. 2 players. We need a left-sided centre-back and a quality one at that. Not just anybody. And we need a top quality like Andre, because I've seen that lad play. He's fantastic, and he's quick. He's quick. He's like a Mascherano type older mid. Absolutely brilliant he is. In the January window, And if we don't get them, we could struggle. Don't forget, Canete's been out with an injury, hasn't he? We've got young Batatic still out. We've got Thiago still out. And what they're saying is, if there's nobody coming in January, we'd have to play Thiago when he's fit. He hasn't had a pre-season. And this is the desperation of, the likes of Thiago, a fantastic player, but he's not fit. He's totally not fit. He's had 30 minutes in April since last February. Put it that way. Anyway, what do you think, Tom?
That's what I was going to get onto about the January thing as well, to be honest, Frank, because I heard that Fulham are signing on Andre, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then I heard that we were going back in for Inacio.
Yeah.
When we pulled out of Inacio, they put 20 million price tag up on him. Now we're going back in for him again.
Yeah.
And the only one which I did read today, which I thought sounds like a good plan, was that Jeremy Frimpong.
Oh, yeah.
That right back from Leverkusen.
Yeah.
He would solve all of our problems.
Yeah.
A right back like Frimpong who scores goals.
Okay.
A good player, yeah.
But we ain't got no money, which they're saying, which I don't believe is true, to be honest with you. How can they say they got no money?
Yeah. I don't believe
Same old Liverpool every year. If we don't get anybody in January, Frank, I don't think there'll be no league title. No.
Yeah,
we don't sign no one.
I don't think we're far away. We just need a couple of players.
Yeah, we need to.
Well,
they definitely need to.
Well, Brian McMahon says FSG should have some change left over from the failed summer bids. That's a very good one. JK says,
good point, that.
It is a very good point. And JK says, some United fans say Garnacho is better than Elliott. Elliott scores and makes assists. Garnacho runs and that's it.
Garnacho's crap.
And Redbird says, Elliott is better off the bench. Absolutely. Absolutely, I go along with that.
He has been this season.
JK says Thiago and Batatic only know themselves how long they need. It's been a while for the pair of them, and that's true. Because
it's been nearly a year for Thiago. He's been out nearly 12 months.
Exactly, and young Batatic has been out for months. That lad won't be match fit.
Yeah.
And we've got
to get fit. I've never known. Do you know all the years that I've played football, played 17 years as a pro, I can never remember anybody I ever played with being out for a year or 9 months. Honestly, ever.
Even people with ACL injuries are back quicker.
Yeah. Broken legs and all sorts will be back within about 3 months.
I just hate hearing that name, Thiago, now, or I hate hearing his name. I'm just thinking, please just go. Get out of the club now, please, mate.
Sadly, he may as well because he's not contributing.
No.
And as JK says, rather City get punished now and not past seasons. Where we recoup titles, send them down a few leagues. That's what he's saying. So
happened to Rangers, didn't it? Happened to Rangers in Scotland.
Yeah. And Snipey says if the sanctions imposed aren't evenly administered, then the whole rotten edifice will disintegrate. It's being seen for what it is. But we can go on and on and on about that. To be honest, we can go on and on, but that's it's just ridiculous. No matter what we say, nothing, in my opinion, will get done yet. But something has to be done. Battletich will be a force in the coming years, says Brian McMahon. He will be, but not now. The lad, I've always said, the lad's injury prone. As soon as he got injured last season, and then he tried to make a comeback and he got injured again, and he's been out ever since. And as I said,
what frustrates me, Frank, is nobody seems to tell us what's wrong with the lad. Nobody's giving us a proper detailed medical report of what the problem is. All you hear is, oh, he's growing, he's 18, you know. I mean, why don't they come and say, this is the problem, this is the prognosis? The fans should know what's going on there.
The fans should know, and it's all guesswork. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating for us. You know, we're trying to say, I wonder what's wrong with him. You know, is it growing pains and all this nonsense?
That's what I kind of reckon. I reckon it'll be, Frank. I reckon it'll come out maybe in about 4 years' time. That boy's Chechich has had to retire from football because of injuries at probably 24, 25. That's what I can see happening.
Well, again, I think it's happened to... Was it a lad named Harrison, George? I forget.
Yeah, it's Harrison, yeah. He had a problem with his muscles. Cancer, yeah, I remember that. It was a tragic case. Yeah.
It was a tragic. It was, you know, tragic for the lads, unfortunately. And Stephen says, this is a good point, boys. And I'll go to you, Darryl, about this. Yeah. The squad's moved on from Thiago. Great player, but a financial liability. What do you think of that?
Definitely. Great player when he was at Bayern Munich. Had his injuries there as well, but not as much as he did with us. And he's costing the club thousands. He's 130 grand a week at the moment.
He's on more. I think he's on more. I think.
If he's on more than that, that's a transfer kitty he's holding us up with.
Yeah.
Really, in theory.
Yeah. What do you think, George?
Yeah, I mean, as what Darryl says is right. I mean, he was a great player in his previous club. When he first came to Liverpool, he was a great player. I loved him, you know. He cutting defences open, you know, he was really good. And I've always said this, it's such a shame what's happened because he could have been a big asset to us really this season. But I don't think he's going to be coming back. It doesn't look like he's going to be coming back. There's only 4 months left at the end of the season. What happens then? His contract will probably be up and he'll be off. And I bet he'll go to some other club and he'll probably play.
But on other pods, they're actually saying, would you give him another extension?
No.
That's the most ridiculous thing that you could ask.
No way.
You could ask your guest, so what would you give him another? Why give him another extension to sit in the in the physio's room? Why? Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. That question.
120,000 a week.
Redbeard says, if I could get a bet on Thiago playing one game for us this season, and the odds are 1,000 to 1, I'd put £100 on it.
I wouldn't even put 10 pence on there on him playing again.
Brian McMahon, I hope you remember this fella. Alberto Aquilani was the same, injury prone, and he was.
Yeah, he was. Talented player, but injury prone.
Very talented. I was made up when I was an Italian, and great, but bang. And then we got to Cena, and I went, great, another Italian player. But he scored against Real, do you remember? Yeah. No, was it? Yeah, he scored against Real.
Man United.
And Man United. The same week. We played Real on a Wednesday and Man U, didn't we, at the weekend? And he scored in both games.
Doesn't he own a shop or something now in Liverpool? What I read.
Say that again.
What was that?
Doesn't Carlyle own some kind of shop? Or he owns a hairdresser or a nipple now or something like that? I swear. I read about it the other day.
I haven't been there.
God. George, he was one of our donkeys, a donkey 11 He's got to go in that donkey 11.
Well, anyway, Ledbeard says this is about young Vetetic. Stefan has been suffering from growing pains as well, so that's not helped him heal quicker. Thiago's another kiter or an off-play Chamberlain, says Stephen Snake. Should be a release clause in the contract if the injury is prolonged, says Brian McMahon. I think that's a very good point. What do you think about that, George? Do you think it should be in a release clause about if an injury is prolonged, you just say, listen, you've got to go now to that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think most of the contracts are watertight now. They're all tied down by the agents. I don't think they'd ever get away with that now. It's all in the power, it's all in the hands of the players. That's why you get these people that get 120,000 a week and they play about 10 games a season. Look at Adrian as well, the goalkeeper. I mean, how much is he getting paid? He hasn't played for about 2 years.
He's on 90 grand a week.
90 grand. He's on 90 grand a week. Diego's on 120. That's 200 grand a week. 800,000 a month. 10 million. What's that? 10 million a year or something? Ridiculous.
That's on back.
Yeah. I think they should go to Chelsea.
Ronaldo had his contract ripped up, didn't he? Man United, didn't he?
Yeah. Say that again.
Ronaldo had his contract ripped up, didn't he? Terminated at Man United.
Yeah,
but by mutual agreement. It was by mutual agreement, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but you
got paid off. He got paid off.
Of course, he got paid off.
Yeah.
Of course, he
got. God, and with Adrian.
Yeah.
You said about Adrian, George. He's only there to make the dress. He's only there to bring his boom speaker every week to have a laugh at the players. To listen to music at the end of the game. That's all he's there for.
Well, Redbird says, my ma is waiting for an NHS bed to have a minor op. Thiago's using
it. Adrian's probably there to organise a car school.
JK, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, Frank.
Hey.
Hey. Can you tell us what Mars is like?
It's okay, bro. We're waiting for you guys.
Oh.
There's no football there.
I'll be going to you right away, JK. And there's a question for you. And a comment there. Brian McMahon, if FSG have no money, then let the players buy the much needed new stock. They can afford it. What do you think? Do you think that they've got money or no money, the owners, for January, JK?
January is their month they actually buy someone. Gapco came in. A few players have come in January. That's the only thing I can go with. But I would say we definitely need a defensive type of midfielder. The same problem we had in the summer. So with the news coming out that Fulham are interested in Andre, it sort of ruins what we thought we were going to get the player. So that's the only thing I could go on. Paulina from Fulham is quite a good player, actually. Pretty impressed with him in the last few weeks, months, I mean. So, yeah. But I'm not sure.
Go on, JK.
Yeah, I was just saying I'm not sure, but if we will get someone in December, that's the question now. In January, Mike.
Well, someone mentioned, I think it was last week or the week before, when I mentioned about no money, especially with no revenue coming in, they're losing hundreds of thousands of pounds with the new stand until March now. And someone said that with the Andre thing coming in as well, the transfer, and we're not going in for them. Someone mentioned, I don't know whether it was Red Bears or somebody, or Anfield Roar, I'm not quite sure, said it could be a smokescreen. It could be a smokescreen. What would you say to that, George? Could it be a smokescreen?
It could be, but I'm thinking if Andre's thinking about going to Fulham, why would anybody in the right mind go to Fulham rather than Liverpool? I can't see the benefit to the lad. The only thing appealing there is the bright lights of London. But he ain't going to win anything at Fulham, is he?
No.
More likely to go down.
If you've got the opportunity at his age to come to Anfield, come to this great club up here with all these great players when you're wanted and the club needs you and wants you, I can't understand if he's going to come to the UK and go to Fulham. If it was Man City or Chelsea or Man United, I could maybe say, okay. But I can't get my head around that one. Why would be interested in going to
No, I can't myself. And another point as well, George, is that, with a smokescreen or something like that, if Fulham do buy him, it could be another thing, where we say to Fulham, look, go and buy him, and we'll buy him back, and you'll make it a nice little tidy profit when we buy him back.
100 million.
But it's just absolutely ridiculous because we need this player. We need him. And for us not to get him and Fulham do, something's drastically
That would be ridiculous. It'd be shocking if they did.
Unless we've got we're eyeing somebody else, like we had Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
We bring someone in. But as I said, and I've been saying this for ages and ages, that he's an ideal fit. It's just like Marius's book. Klopp's an ideal fit for Liverpool, if you know what I mean. So I think he is an ideal fit. This Andre from Malaysia. Let's see what these lads say. The media have informed us that releasing 150 to 200 million pound buy has repaid LFC's bank loans. That means FSG can now borrow again on the back of a clean sheet. But they don't like borrowing, do they? It's not them borrowing, it's us. We're paying it back. It's not bloody well them.
But they're now on about Frank. They're on about buying a basketball team now.
Yeah.
Oh,
FSG.
And golf.
There was talk about it last week. They're interested in buying an NBA franchise basketball side.
Yeah. Well, they've already
they lie. They've got the money. They've got the money.
Well, they've already bought, haven't they, ice hockey and all this nonsense. The NFL. They wanted, I think they were going to buy some club. I don't know who it was, some football club. Their football, that is, for $4 billion. And they wanted like 4.5 or 5 billion when they said we're selling, and they wouldn't give it. Apparently, something like that. That's what I heard. That's what
I've got some news for you, Frank.
Go on. There's another match. Another goal.
Yeah. Harvey Elliott's just got another. And Cody Gakpo's to score. Cody Gakpo's got one goal as well.
They're all on fire, aren't they? All on fire.
They're on fire. Liverpool boys are flying.
Can't wait till Saturday.
12-0. 12-0.
Well, he had his Redbirds. He says, go straight to you, George. Maybe Fulham are offering money he can't turn down. Unfortunately, a lot of players today go where the money is. But if they got the money to...
How can Fulham have the money? They haven't got the income. They're not in Europe. They're not in the top half of the Premier League, or they're not in the top 6 anyway. So I can't understand why they can pay more money than Liverpool. That doesn't make sense.
Ridiculous, isn't it? Isn't it absolutely ridiculous?
Yeah.
Elliott scores an outrageous goal. That's Liverpool 3, Northern Ireland 0.
Brilliant.
Do you think we need this is Soulboy Fran. Do you think we need height in the midfield. Andre is small, as is McAllister. But so is one of the best of all holding mids was Mascherano, and he was tiny.
Yeah.
I met him.
Yeah.
I met it's
Makalele. Makalele was tiny.
Yeah, Makalele, yeah.
He was tiny and world class.
But I don't think
Ramirez from Chelsea.
Yeah, some of the greatest midfielders were, not on the big side. Billy Bremner and all them in the old days, Alan Ball wasn't very big. He's about 5'6".
No, he wasn't.
If you've got the skill, that's what's important in midfield, not the height. Height's important at the back.
It is important.
I weren't even born then, George.
The likes of eBay and the big they'll do us massive stuff. Joe Gomez is very tall as well. Gomez is a very tall lad. So they've got that
as well.
Canate is unbelievably tall. But so is Gravenberg, Gravenberg 6 foot tall. He's a tall lad. So Bosley's tall. They've got very tall players.
Bosley's just got little feet.
Brian McMahon, Fulham are owned by the lad who wanted to buy Wembley Stadium a few years ago. I'm sorry, I've left JK out. I keep forgetting about him. We'll be getting back to Mars in a minute. With you, JK, mate. Johnny Giles was so small, says Brian McMahon.
Right.
Snakey says 5'10" was Souness. Do you think, JK, that we need something? It's only one of the lads, Soulboy Fran. He says, do you think we need height with a number 6? What do you think, JK?
I prefer the Tigerish small type of player in the 6th position. Gattuso, that type of guy, And they all seem to be small type of guys, isn't it? The ones who are fighters in the middle.
Yeah, I always remember, George, you remember this fella. I always remember Billy Bremner. Billy was a tiger, wasn't he? Did you mention him? I'm sorry, George. I didn't know that you mentioned him.
Yeah, Billy Bremner. Yeah, I did. Yeah, he was fantastic. That's what I was saying before. Billy Bremner, Alan Ball, some of the greatest midfielders in British history are not big lads.
Brian Robson.
Yeah, there's loads. You remember Bobby Collins?
Bobby Collins broke for
Everton. He was 5'3".
Georgie Scott, he was good.
I mean, he was 5'6". I tell you, I've said to my sons, many times, if I was 4 inches taller, I'd have had 50 caps.
That's great.
I would have definitely got on that first team.
Redbird says, Brian, Fulham owner has money, so it's possible that they offer big bucks for Andre. Yeah, they could offer for big bucks, if that's true. Do you think, JK, you're there?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that we do need, in the January window, we really don't need a forward. If a forward just come on the market, and we say we were going after a forward, the only lads I'd go after plays for Napoli with an unpronounceable name. He's a right winger as well.
Carlyle.
Oh, that's it. That's where you're on there. That's where you're on, Alex. But when you look at it, the call like today, he is brilliant. If we need a forward and he's a right winger, get him now, if you know what I mean. And still keep Mo. Anyway, we just go to, let's see. Snapey says, short, low centre of gravity and a tenacious is often the most successful physicality as a DM. If they are stocky, it's advantageous, and that's it. And Neil Broderick, actually, he's been quiet for a while. He's been watching the match. Come on, a little sly one. I'm going for a 2-0 win on Saturday. Mo, both goals. Mo, both goals. I wouldn't mind if they were 2 penalties, to be honest. But anyway, we'll be coming back to that. Because as Brian McMahon says, our old Sammy Lee is a great example of a small, smashing midfield. He never gets any praise, does he, Sammy Lee?
No, he was for England.
But he never gets, when we're talking about ex-players, players that play for Liverpool, he never gets mentioned, ever.
No.
And one of our greatest of all, I mentioned this before, one of our greatest midfielders was Terry McDermott, and he hardly gets a mention. And Terry Mack was unbelievable. I love Terry Mack. I thought he was absolutely fantastic, to be honest.
Fabulous.
So listen, George, I'm going to go to JK here first, on Mars. What do you think the result will be, or what you hope for, JK?
First of all, I just want to say I think Paulinia is going to go to Bayern in January, and that's why they're going to go for Andre Fulham. That's my opinion, I think.
Okay.
And on for Saturday, I'm going for a 2-1 win.
Really? That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go to Darryl. Saturday.
2-2.
2-2. George?
Yeah, I think the only thing that worries me is not many teams stop City scoring on the home ground. So if we can do that, we're home and dry, I think. So, I would say I might go along with that last comment there, 2-2.
Well, I'll say a draw. I'll go for a draw because I think we're up for the result. I really do.
Yeah.
And it could be possibly a win. Because if we get at them, George, the way we are now, and our forwards the way they are, our counter-attacks are unbelievable. And if you get Diaz and Nunes using their speed along with Mo, it could cause them a hell of a lot of problems. And our midfield has to be up to the task. I hope Szoboszlai goes out and bosses midfield. I want Curtis Jones in that team. I really do. And I want McAllister. I want those 3 playing. The back 4, that's my problem with the back 4. I want to see Canete and Virgil. I want Trent on the right. Because you can't leave Trent out of any side, not with his passing ability. And on the left-hand side, I'm going to go for Gomez. And I'll tell you for why. Because I was thinking about that Foley. He always cuts in. And I think it would be the idea for Gomez to stop him from cutting it or taking the ball away from him or harassing him, if you know what I mean. And that's why I go for Gomez there. And Gomez is very quick as well. He's got great pace as John. So I'd go for him. What's that fun fact, fellows? England game is at Goodison, so 3 Liverpool players have scored at the top of his ground. You love to see them. See, they're all watching the bloody match. I think Daryl's got to watch it as well. If Everton gets 10 points deduction, says Neil Broderick, for 1 charge, that means City will be kicked out of the conference, into the conference with 150 charges. It's all set up for their owners to place them in the Saudi League. Why not? Yeah. Stephen Snape, Salah stays for 2 more years. He wants to play at Anfield. 600 or 700 silent Saudis won't equal the adulation he gets in front of football's finest.
Absolutely.
That's great. That's a great show. And I think he's right because he loves the club. He actually loves the club. 2-0 Saturday if they can be got at, say Stephen Snape. I reckon they can be got at. I totally agree.
Chelsea scored 4 again.
Yeah, there you go. And Liverpool are better than them. Liverpool are better. And we've got a better defence than them. As well, I'm talking about Chelsea, that is.
Yeah, no reason.
Brian McMahon says, I'm on a roll now, thinking and hoping we will beat City, so I won't go for the break. And he is on a roll. He's predicted everything right. This is great.
I'll join you, Brian. 2-1.
I'd go for we.
Well, okay, you don't have to tell us, Brian. I tell you, fried chicken or something. Neil Broderick says it's very unique to have 4 forwards who are all look like scoring at the same point in time. They're all capable and in form. Very good shot. Again, is so right. Again, is so. Will you stop coughing? Get to the top.
Terrible. My throat's still bad, Frank. Oh.
You're definitely not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was long COVID, still reckon.
You can't stop coughing. You put your hands in the air. It's good.
GK can hear you in the entry there.
Yeah.
I know you can hear me way away.
Yeah, I was going to say, the way to stop coughing is if you stand up, put your hands in the air and breathe through your nose. You need to stop coughing.
That's it. And stop your
Yeah.
Can I carry on with this? Can I carry on?
Carry on, Frank.
Blimey. Brian McMahon, reading today, Fabio Cavallo is having a rough time on loan to Leipzig.
Good.
Has he got a place at Liverpool? Go back to that. And Redbird says, Klopp asked me to keep an eye on our youngsters. That's why I'm watching. So, he's watching the game. So I'll go back to what Brian says. Fabio Cavallo, I'm going to go straight to you, George. Straight to you. Has Fabio Cavallo got a future here at Liverpool?
No, I don't think so. I think he's lost his chance, I think, at Anfield. Other people have overtaken him now with the 3 players we've got, like Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, Endo, McAllister, Harvey Elliott, Gakpo. You've got quite a lot of players there now that weren't there before when he was last with us. Didn't look like he impressed Klopp, and Klopp let him go. Although I thought he was quite a tidy player. I thought he had a lot more to give.
He scored a cracker against Man City, if you remember.
Yeah.
And he just slipped us into the corner. And the one against Newcastle.
Jurgen let him go, and I don't think there's any way back.
No. And once he lets you go, there's no way back, unfortunately. What about you, JK? Has young Cavallo got a future at Liverpool?
I thought if he sort of impressed at Leipzig, because they're sort of a close-knit type of club. I thought, maybe he's fine. I think it might be his attitude. When he don't get kicked or whatever, I don't think he actually like that. And I think you can see it from his body language. But quality-wise, he can play football. I think like when he first got into the team, he was scoring goals. He scored at City, scored against Newcastle. Maybe it's just down to attitude, I think. But hopefully he'll get a chance with this. You know what I mean?
Stephen Snape. Our defence can shut them out. Our strike force is cohesive and fluid. Our midfielders are mobile. City are far from that well-oiled machine. Oiled in inverted commas, by the way. They have been. Don't be kidded by them beating United. I think that's a very good shout.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, well, we beat them when they've been at their best, haven't we? We beat them a number of times. They're not at their best at the moment. We are quite close to our best with the team we've got at the moment. So yeah,
I'm glad you said that, George, because we're near our best, especially with the likes of Virgil back at his best. He's back at his best. He really is. We've got a far better midfield now than we did last season. When we don't forget, we beat them 3-1 in the opening, the charity shield game. We beat them comfortably 3-1. We're a better side than we were last season. A far better side. And this is why we're up there now. So, I think we can beat them. Yeah, I just hope that we get a result. I'd hate to come away with anything else but a result. I really would.
I also think that we can't afford to lose the first goal.
No,
we can't afford to lose the first goal. We've got to keep a clean sheet or score the first goal. If we lose the first goal, I'd worry.
Yeah,
have to score 2 to win, and then it's tough.
And they would, they'd just close the ranks, wouldn't they? If they did score the opening goal. But then again, I think we can counteract that bit now. What I mean by keeping anyone up at bay, because we were given silly goals.
We've came back from one down a lot this year, haven't we? We've came back from one down a lot.
Yeah.
Quite a few of the games we've lost the first goal and went on to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I'll reiterate what I said ages ago about the Tottenham game. We weren't robbed, we were cheated. There's a big difference between being robbed and cheated.
1 point.
There's a rumour Fabio has a bit of an attitude with if we won't put him in the Klopp's good books. Your mic's going again, Darryl.
Is it?
Yeah, it's sort of. You're on the phone, aren't you? You must be scratching something, with your little.
Oh, I'm not scratching. I'm not like that.
Oh, it's terrible. The noise is awful.
Hang on.
I'll put you on the sun's bench. I'll put you on.
Is that better? Is that better?
That's brilliant. Yeah, thank you. It goes in my ears. You see, I have a little earphones in and everything. And I have all these things in because I want to hear from JK, who's life on Mars up there, you see. It's very hard to get hold of his JK. So listen, JK, you're open for the win. On Sunday. Are we playing? We're playing Sunday, aren't we?
Saturday.
12:30.
Saturday.
12:30 again. Saturday. Yeah.
I didn't know. God grief. I thought it was. Why did I think it was Sunday?
It should be Sunday with the international break, shouldn't it?
Yeah. And at 12 kickoff as well. That's isn't it?
Don't surprise me, though, Frank. It's happening all the time this season, so it's a joke.
Let's just beat them.
Well, these things. George's bank is terrible. George is bang on. We've got gears to shift up to, and that's what you've been saying. George, would you like to see Gakpo in midfield alongside Szoboszlai and McAllister?
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't bother me at all. That I like Gakpo. He's a good player, strong running, again, he's another one that didn't seem to let us down. So, we've got a choice there, really. I think I go a long way. Frank said before, my first choice would be Curtis Jones or McAllister in there. But Gakpo, yeah, I mean, I would have no problem with Gakpo playing in the midfield.
No, well, there you go. And he's just scored for Holland tonight, hasn't he? What came through. Yeah, brother.
It just shows you
Sorry.
It just shows you what we've got, the choices we've got now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's brilliant.
And Neil Broderick says, we seem to be specialists giving away the first goal and winning 3-1. That's what he says.
This happened 5 times.
I'm just going to go
With
through
10
these,
men.
lads. I'm just going to go through these if you don't mind. Stephen Snape says, the more they come onto us makes them more vulnerable. In many ways, Pep will advise caution, which is a tactic they are unfamiliar with. Believe me, they are as full of trepidation as we are. I go along with that as well. I think I've got a ticket for Saturday, but it's in the home end. I might chin Liam Gallagher. He's going, Liam Gallagher. Eddie Cotton says, just watched 2 goals on a masterclass from Harvey Elliott for England's under-21s versus Northern Ireland at Goodison Park tonight. Tyler Morton got the first goal too. His second goal was well-classed, ended 3-0. Says Eddie Cotton. See, they've all left us. Watch the match. Now they come on. Good shout. I think he might start Gakpo in this one, says Soulboy Frank. Do you think, I'll go to you, JK. We've been picking our teams, right? We've been picking, who should be in midfield and who should be in the back 4 and the forward line. Do you think that, this is to you, JK, do you think that Klopp will surprise us with his choices, with his team selection? Where's JK? Has he gone now again? Has he left his space left?
This year.
He's gone.
JK.
Are you there, JK?
He's gone back to Mars.
Somebody's talking, but it's not him.
Not much.
Yeah, I can hear you.
That's shit. That's
Hello?
terrible.
He's there now.
Is he there?
Hello.
No, well, there is JK. Can you hear us?
Oh,
And you're breaking up. You're breaking up, JK. I'm sorry. You're breaking up. And we're coming to the crux. We're coming to the crux. We're coming to the crux of the pod. And I'm going to go to our friend who keeps running the league, Darryl. So listen, Darryl. Yeah. So, can I just read this out? Even if Frank, mate, will call soon, leaving my job. On Christmas and on great terms. You'll have to call and see me, David, because I know who he works for. I know who he works for. So come and let me know all about it, David. Be great. I haven't seen you for a while, and I know that you've been very busy. Be great. Be great to see you. I'll go to this, Neil Broderick. City bring the ball to a halfway line without challenge almost every week because the opposing team sit back. They can't handle high press because they're not used to it. That's why we will ruffle them. Would you agree with that, George? That's a very good comment.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'd agree with that 100%. If we implement the high press, as Klopp did when he first came to the club, and in the year we won the league by about 20 points. I mean, if he gets us pressing on their backs, pushing up against them, and not giving them time on the ball, that's the way to go. And if they do get into our half, you've got a couple of guys up front like greyhounds. and they can actually get through on the break and sting them. So I think that's a good call, that, Neil. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Darrell? Would you go along that with what Neil Broderick said?
Yeah, I'll go along with that, definitely. Just get at them from go one. Get at them. Don't let them get in any spaces. Don't let them get the ball. Try and keep players like Bernardo Silva quiet for the first 10, 15 minutes. Then we'll have a chance.
And I've got to keep that Foden as well if he's playing. Keep that Foden. And what's his name? Doku, is it? Doko, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Keep him quiet. I think, in all honesty, I think we have a great chance of beating them, I really do. I always remember, I'm going, JK, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
God blimey, it's clear. Are you next door? Come in. Come in, JK. Yeah, there he is. JK, I'll read you this comment out. I think it's a cracking comment, actually, by Neil Broderick, and I want your opinion on it. City bring the ball to halfway line without challenge almost every week because opposing teams sit back. They can't handle a press because they're not used to it. That's why we will ruffle them. What do you think of that, JK? He's gone again.
It's unbelievable.
JK's
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. Did you get that comment? What can you comment on that comment?
Yeah, many apologies for the technique today. I was going to just say that if we go with the counter-attacking football for Saturday, because we know they're going to attack us, we're going to start with Darwin, maybe Diaz on the left because he's fast, and give them what they're not used to because they're used to attacking teams.
Excellent. And this is what we've been saying, JK. This is what we've been saying all night, to be honest, because if we use our pace against them, and if we can, the way we can counteract, I think we can. We can beat them, but we've just got to beat them at bay and not lose that first goal, as George Scott said. We cannot afford to. I'll send JK the password for next door's Wi-Fi. I'll send it via the Albanian. That'll fox him. He's crazy, Steve. Crunch Doku and Grealish, if he's playing, let them know what we're about. And I think we've got to get stuck into them. I really do. And Canete is the type of player to get stuck in. Rather than matter. And don't forget that Ibu is quicker, much quicker, got more pace than Matip, if you know what I mean. I always say that Matip doesn't stick his leg out, He never sticks his leg out for some reason. And it annoys me. And I've watched millions of matches. Do you know what I was watching the other day? Last night it was. I was watching the old Liverpool Barcelona game, the 4-0 game at Anfield. What surprised me, the 3 forwards and the 3 midfielders no longer play for Liverpool.
Right.
And there was only like about 3 substitutions substitutes still with us.
Yeah.
Of substitutions as well. They've all gone. All gone. Every one of them. Isn't that strange? But we've still got the back 4 who we named, with the exception of Connaughton. We've still got
Robertson.
And Trent and Matip and Verge. It's strange, isn't it? How you look at that great team that beat them 4-0. And Origi, Origi scoring save. Incredible. absolutely
That was the
amazing.
most-
We had a midfield. We had a midfield that night of Henderson, Milner, and Fabinho.
That's right.
That's it. That's it. And
So,
Origi,
you know,
Salah didn't play, did he? Salah wasn't playing.
No,
no, it was Mane, Origi, and who was it? And Bobby.
Firmino wasn't-
no,
Shaqiri.
Shaqiri it was. Bobby couldn't play.
Oh,
Yeah,
Shaqiri, yeah.
yeah.
Shaqiri.
He put the cross in. He put the cross in for the header.
Ginny
For Gini, yeah.
Ronaldo.
I love Gini. What a player he was.
Yeah, we
He
should
was
never have got rid of
fantastic.
him.
No.
So
Crazy
do you know
losing him.
what though? That game I was watching, it was a full game by the way, and Fabinho was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Breaking up play, passing was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So that's what you have. You know, the likes of all those players that have gone no longer with us, including Fabinho, who was out injured on the bench.
Well, that
He was,
was
a
an
big
unbelievable.
player.
That was an unbelievable game, Frank. An unbelievable game from start to finish because they just needed one goal. Suarez should have
One
scored.
goal.
Messi should have scored. And then, to hold it tight for 90 minutes and to score 4 goals was just only Liverpool could do that.
And you know what? Before the game, the commentator said no team in the history of, the Champions League or whatever, even the European Cup, has never come from, in a semi-final, has never come from 3 goals behind. So that's a record we hold. We came back, and they were a good side, They were no mugs.
Oh, yeah.
They had great players. You had the likes of Coutinho just gone to them. He was fantastic for us. Suarez, don't forget,
Messi.
the opening game. They had that.
Yeah.
Busquets, Messi.
Xavi, Iniesta.
Oh, no, they were before. But they were absolutely. Stay Garden, great goalkeeper. Great goalkeeper.
Well, in the new camp, Messi missed a sitter at the end.
Yeah,
And it would have been 4-0. So,
it wasn't
obviously,
No, it wasn't
with destiny.
Messi. It wasn't. It was this other lad.
Dembele, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, it wasn't.
Dembele. Yeah. I think it was.
He,
Anyway, it was an absolute sitter. They should have scored.
It was like a back pass to Ali, because
And that would have finished it.
Just
or was it Fatty? It might have been Fatty,
I don't know.
Right at the end of the game.
Because I never watched I only watched.
We're being linked with him, Frank, now, don't you?
He's a bit old now, though.
Fatty, we're being linked with Fatty. Read it this morning.
Brian McMahon says, we see a resemblance of Salah, Firmino and Mane taking City apart. That's what Brian says. Brian McMahon, that is. Brian Edley says, can't please women. I sold all his bread this morning, went out from there and got her a trampoline. Now she's bouncing everywhere. Let's get on to these. Stephen Snape, Canete is susceptible to bookings or to a booking or two. He needs to keep his head up. He's playing. I agree. He's a better bet than Mata. Big Joel's not done much wrong when he's playing. No, he hasn't, and I'm not having a go. Soulboy Fran, one of the best things Milner done at that Barca game was take it to the corner. He did. I was lucky enough to be at that match. Me too. My mate, who I went with, always says to me when I got in the car with him, the first thing I said, this could be our greatest night in history.
Yeah, apart from Istanbul.
Apart from Istanbul. I'll go back to that, actually, because I think that's a little good talking point before we all shut off for good. Only Anfield affords us nights like Barcelona. I got the last minute ticket right up in the top of the new stand. When Divock scored the fourth, the whole structure shook. Right, only 5 players still left from our team who beat Barcelona. Ali, Trent, Robbo, Virgil and Mo. And that's spot on. That's spot on. Everyone else is gone. But I'm going back to what Neil said. This could be our greatest night in history. And I'll go to you, JK. What's your, do you think that it was better than Istanbul? Or, would you go along with what Neil said? I'm not saying he said that it was the greatest night, by the way, but it could go down as Liverpool's in the greatest game in history. What do you think, JK?
I think if we went on to win the Champions League after that game, and then I think it's not better than Istanbul. Istanbul was the best.
Yeah, it's as simple as that, isn't it? George, why do you think Istanbul?
Yeah, I think Istanbul's got to be the greatest because the team we played were immense, AC Milan, and they played the first half like they were going to score 6. And to come back from 3-0 down in that circumstance in the Ataturk, with that crowd behind them at half-time, you never walk alone, and Stevie's goal and the atmosphere. And I can't see there ever being a better comeback than that in the history of the European Cup.
Yeah. What about you, Darryl?
Well, how can you beat a team who had a back four like that of Nesta, Stam, Caffey and Maldini? It's got to be Istanbul with a back four of that, beating that. For me.
Yeah.
Zaza in goal as well. He was the Brazilian goalkeeper.
Yeah, DJ, yeah.
And we had Jimmy Traore.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Jimmy. What a player.
He kicked the ball off the line, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
And the goalkeeper, what a save. Them two saves from Dudek.
But they had a short France setter for you as well. Dudek's double save. Wow. Istanbul for me.
Couldn't believe my eyes. I was there that night with my son.
Do you know the last game I went to was when we had Benteke in the Europa League against Bordeaux. That's the last game I ever went to.
Really?
Oh.
Bordeaux, yeah. Benteke was up front at Anfield.
Okay, Neil Broderick says, my greatest match will always be San Etienne. Now, I'm going to say something here. I went to the San Etienne game.
1977.
You know what, George? Honestly, I was in the Cup, and do you know when the bionic carrot, faithful Davy, and he put that ball in that goal, and the crowd, it wasn't right away. It was like
right down.
It's like a split second, and all of a sudden we realised what we did. And the roof, I'm sure, it lifted a little because the roar was in. I've never heard a roar like it. And I've been to the Barca game. I've been to the Chelsea game, right? With the no goal one and all that, and the penalty. Remember the penalty ones as well. I've been to them games, but that roar for me still rings, and I get goosebumps every time I think about it.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. But
you could
go on, George.
You could feel the steps bouncing, couldn't you? You could feel the concrete bouncing under your feet. Yeah, it was like a springboard. It was unbelievable. That ground was closed an hour before the kickoff, maybe more, that night.
Do you know what? You're right. Now, do you know what? Funny enough, years later, I'm talking years later, I was talking to some fella in the pub, and he was a bus driver. He came up to me, he said, "Hey, Frank," and I went, "Hey, yeah." I didn't know me. He knew of me. Shook hands with him, was just chatting, and he mentioned, and we both of us mentioned the San Etienne game. And do you know what he said? He waited outside. He waited. He tried to get it. He couldn't get in. So he had to go for his, I don't know whether it was his daughter or what, I'm not quite too sure now, and he had to pick her up. So he said, I'm standing outside, you know, the little car park where they used to park, you know, where Peter Thompson's garage was. And that was gone. And he parked his car there. He had his car park there or something like that. And he said, the noise that came out, he said, I realised that Fairclough had scored. He said, I've never heard anything like it in my life. And that's what he said. Because that noise, that roar by the Kop was the most incredible roar I've ever heard in my entire life. And I'll never hear another roar like it. And I've been to some games since then. Some games since. But you know what my greatest game was? And I'm not talking about comebacks. Not talking about comebacks. My greatest game ever, I'm not talking about noise either. And it was in Rome. It was in 1977 when we won the European Cup for the very first time. That was the greatest moment of my life, my footballing life, as a fan, as a Liverpool supporter. To see those lads, I get emotional. To see those lads, it was absolutely amazing. And to see Tommy Smith score from a corner, header. And I was talking to Phil Neal. And I said to him about the penalty. I said, was your nerves gone? He said, as I was running up, he said, I didn't know what, as he was running up to take it, he didn't know what corner to put it in. That's what he said to me. And I was talking to Jimmy Case. I was on LFC TV with him. I was on a few times with him. I was talking about, you know, the San Etienne game, not on the channel, just having a, you know, a quiet drink. And he said, when Fake, he didn't know. And if you ever see George, if you ever see him, he didn't know that Liverpool has won the game at the end. He didn't know he won. No, he didn't know he won. You know, with them scoring over there and Bettany scoring at Anfield. I was like behind that ball, you know. Do you know when Bettany hit it? And it went like that towards Clem, and it swerved. It was swerving. And, you know, that's why Clem never got it, because it was hit that hard and swerving as well. That just went in. And as Tommy Smith said, we were doing a show on LFC TV, he said, we knew that we were safe. You know, if we kept them 25 yards out, you know, the opposition, any opposition, he said, and they hit it from there, we knew that Clem had saved it. And that's when I said, but he didn't say Bethany's out there. And he was 30 yards out. He said, I know, but it swerved everywhere. And I was behind that goal. And he said, you're right. It did swerve everywhere. But anyway, let's finish off with these. I'll just go through these quickly, lads. Nothing stirred the blood like standing on the Kop. Togetherness was palpable as the emotions when I remind myself of the pride and supporting Liverpool Football Club. Where Brian Edley, when Deco scored past us in 2007 in the new camp, my ears popped, but they heard us all right when Bellamy and Risa scored some. They certainly did. And Soulboy, I'm going to go through these, then we finish, boys. I want your things. Soulboy says two other great games: 5-0 Forest in '88 and 7-0 Spurs when they had just signed our dealers and Villa. Absolutely, greatest experience, says Neil Broderick, was Kiev. Unfortunately, the result was a disaster, but overall, the experience was incredible. Redbird, Rome was special. Oh, what a night! Absolutely, you're so right.
Very emotional. Yeah, yeah.
And Neil Broderick, night boys, you'll never walk alone. And some fans still underestimate how good that Gladbach team was. Thanks, lads. Stay safe. You'll never walk alone. Brian McMahon, I am blessed because I am a Liverpool supporter, says Brian, all the way from Ireland. Thank you, Brian. And thank you for hosting the show. Good night, everyone. Take care, says Stephen Smith. Thank you. JK, you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. What's your greatest night? What's your greatest night, saying that? I'm going to finish with, we're going to finish with you and say good night to the rest, as we know it, except Harold. So what's your greatest night?
I would say Istanbul is number one. And then I was also at Klopp's first game he won as manager against Bournemouth at Anfield.
Oh, okay.
So for me, that's kind of special.
Okay.
And also, I was at Carragher's last game for Liverpool.
Okay. What's your two finest, Darryl?
Two finalists.
Yeah,
Finest.
two finalists.
Oh, my favourite game was probably when we beat Man United 7-0.
Okay.
And my worst was probably because I was born in 82, so I was about 7 at the time, and Michael Thomas scored 2 at Anfield.
We're not talking about the worst, we're talking about the best.
The best 7-0, definitely 7-0.
7-0 game. George, what's your two best? Obviously,
You won't be surprised to know, I think, that my 1965 Cup final, when we won the Cup for the first time with Saint and Roger scoring the goals, Jerry Byrne performing heroics with a broken shoulder. And the second one would be Istanbul, I think, although there were many others, many others. So difficult to pick two,
Do you know what, George? And, you being a Shankly boy and everything else, I made up you said that 65 Cup final. Because we did proud, didn't we? And the Saint scorer, the Saint and Roger.
Yeah.
Think about it. Willie Stevens.
It's hard for the modern generation to understand what the city felt that weekend, because the Evertonians had always been saying, if Liverpool win the Cup, the Liver Bells will fly away. And, we were really on our backs to try and win that Cup. And the pressure on those players were immense to bring it back. And when they came back, 500,000 people in the streets. It was just a phenomenal occasion. And the Saint, I loved him dearly. I mean, he just blew me away. The way he took it on board, the way he scored that goal, sauntered into the town hall like as if he owned the place. Big smile on his face. And Roger, of course, went on to win the World Cup.
Absolutely. It's like what Brian McMahon says there, the Irish lad. Beating Real Madrid 4-0 at Anfield was brilliant. Gerrard scoring a cracker and Terres going berserk, scoring against the Spanish foe. And that's right, because he was like that, Fernando, wasn't he? There's my name.
Yeah.
Oh, George.
Yeah, we're lucky.
George, I'm sorry I was butting, but I know you were talking about Ian St. John.
Yeah.
I watched Saint and Greavesy for the first time last night. Oh my God, brilliant!
Yeah,
it was
absolutely brilliant. I never knew them to be so funny.
Yeah,
so funny.
Brilliant.
I tell you what, I watched the other night and it had me in stitches. I needed to cheered up, and that was it. Rigby. It was nice and damp.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
this was nice. We're privileged to have so many to choose from, says Stephen.
Yes.
Football writer Rogan Taylor once described the scenes inside Anfield when Davy Fairclough scored the winner as like scenes from, where's that?
Hieronymus Bosch.
Oh, Hieronymus Bosch.
Yeah.
From Hieronymus Bosch painting. I don't know. I'm sorry, I know what that's a spirit. I've never heard of him. Hieronymus. Neil Broderick, I was born in 65. What a journey that followed. Can't remember missing one season since even if I just got a handful of games when my kids were babies. That's lovely. And so, God, you missed 3 European Cup wins. Unlucky, Darryl.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we've been to 9 finals.
I've only seen 2, unfortunately.
Well, listen, George, thank you so much. And I know that you'll be with us a game over on Tuesday. Try and get
Next Tuesday, yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
Marius is watching Greece. He's watching Greece play an international match. But it'll be on next Tuesday.
I'm going to kick his head.
I just saw a message from him. He said he wanted to come on a half-time game, but he couldn't, I don't think.
No, that's absolutely so. See you next Tuesday, George. Thank you so much for tonight. Darryl, thank you so much.
No problem, Frankie.
It's as though you've cricked your neck there, lying down.
I'm laying on the sofa, but I've got with a stiff neck.
Frank, you've got to say one last thing there. JK has left the building.
Has he? Are you there, JK?
I'm still here, bro.
JK
I'm still there. JK still on Mars.
Still there.
JK,
right, Darren, I'll see you again soon. I've got to go now.
See you guys. See you, George, Frank, JK.
See you later.
Bye, Frank. I'll see you next week.
See you next week, George. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Darryl. Thank you so much, JK. Yeah, everyone. Thank you. Just for me to say a big thank you to every single one of you outside there, up there. And I'll just finish with Brian McMahon. JK says, God bless Redbird, Snapey, let's go get City. You never walk alone. That's lovely, that. Snapey, brilliant show. You'll never walk alone. Brother, what are you off? Go boxes up. Oh, that's great. Did you know Aldo was the highest English goal scorer at one time, and Greavesy argued about it because he claimed 2 goals was player manager at crap? Yeah, I didn't know that. I really didn't know that. And I'll finish with this. Brian McMahon. Good night, all. Great show. Roll on Saturday. Just for me to say to every one of you out there, thank you so much for joining us tonight. See you all on Thursday with new guests, by the way. We'll have different guests on. And we'll just counteract with what were more or less, hopefully, no injuries, no nothing coming back from all these European games and South American games. So let's hope. And I'll see you all on Thursday. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you're still out there, just press the like button because there's loads of you there. And I've only got 4 likes. All likes for fun. But I'll just say this. Thank you for joining me. See you all on Thursday. And all you historians, I'll see you next Monday for a great show, a good history show. Thank you so much. Thank you.